Why I'm telling clients not to buy Calgary condos right now. Calgary's apartment condo segment currently has more than 6 months of supply sitting on the market. To put that in plain language, sellers are waiting more than 6 months to find a buyer. In a healthy market, that number is 2 to 3 months. So this is not a blip. This has been building for over a year. If you are thinking about buying a condo in Calgary, especially as a first purchase or as an investment, this matters to your financial future more than the mortgage rate does. Today, I'm going to walk you through exactly why this is happening, who actually it affects, and who it does not affect. And the two questions you must ask before removing conditions on a Calgary condo right now. If you know these two questions, you can still make a smart condo purchase. If you do not, you are gambling. I have covered Calgary's two-speed market on this channel before, where detached homes in the right quadrants are moving in days and condos are sitting for months. If you have not seen that video, I will link it above. Today, we are going specifically into the condo side because this is where I'm seeing buyers make expensive mistakes right now, and it is where I want to put a spotlight. I'm not here to tell you condos are bad investments across the board. Some buildings in Calgary are performing well. Some are genuinely good and with good value. The issue is that the market is not telling you which is which, and that is my job. Now, to understand where we are, you need to understand where the supply came from. Between 2020 and 2023, Calgary saw a significant wave of condominium and apartment development. Developers were responding to population growth projections and a period of very low interest rates that made project financing accessible. A lot of units entered the approval pipeline at the same time. Those projects took 18 to 36 months to complete, which means a wave of completions hit the market in 2023 and 2024. At the exact moment that interest rate increases had cooled buyer demand. You can remember that period. So more supply, softer demand, and a classic oversupply setup. The oversupply is not evenly distributed. It is concentrated in two segments. First, the downtown and Baseline apartment corridor. Newer high-rise units in the 350,000 to 550,000 range, where investors, sellers are competing directly with new developer inventory still selling off the plan. Second, some suburban mid-rise projects in the northeast and southeast that were marketed aggressively to investors in 2021 and are now seeing those investors list at the same time. If you are looking at a condo in either of those two buckets, you need to do the analysis I'm about to walk you through before you fall in love with the finishes. These are the two questions I ask on behalf of every one of my condo buyer clients. And the reason I can ask them effectively is because I sit on both the purchase side and the financing side. My name is Conrad. I have licenses in Calgary for years. I mortgages and a realtor. So that's dual license lets me see things in many ways that people cannot see. So a condo document review that a buying agent without a mortgage expertise will miss, will be able to catch that. Every condo corporation in Alberta is legally required to conduct a reserve fund study. That study tells you what percentage of the reserve fund is adequately funded versus what will be needed to maintain and repair the building over the next 30 years. Anything above 80% is generally acceptable. Below 60, it starts to signal risk. Below 40, in an older building with major components approaching end of life, that is roof, elevator, parquet, membrane, it's a serious red flag. Why does this matter to you as a buyer? Because a chronically underfunded reserve fund is how you get a special assessment. That is a bill sometimes can be 15,000, sometimes 50,000, sometimes more. That drops in your mailbox after you own the unit. No warning, no opt-out, something you cannot opt out. And I've got calls where people kind of complain about that. I just bought this place, everything looked good, but a year or two later, they give me a special assessment that I cannot pay. It's 20,000, 15,000. Yeah, so ask for the reserve fund study before you remove conditions. Read the depreciation report. If your agent has not handed you those documents by condition date, that is a problem. The second question is about lender exposure, and this is where the mortgage broker side of my license makes a real difference. Several major Canadian lenders have rental ratio thresholds for condos. If more than 25 to 35% of units in a building are investor owned and rented out, not owner occupied, some lenders will not approve an insured mortgage on a unit in that building. They will apply surcharge pricing. In Calgary's current condo market, with a high proportion of investor listings hitting simultaneously, some buildings are crossing those thresholds. That means a buyer who qualifies for the rate they were quoted could walk into condition removal and discover that their lender has flagged the building, and now the financing is either more expensive or unavailable at that institution. I check this before my clients fall in love with a unit, so you should too. All right. I want to be clear about something. I'm not telling every buyer to walk away from Calgary condos. There are buildings in this city with healthy reserve funds, owner-occupant majorities, and price points that represent genuine value, particularly in the townhouse segment and in well-managed low-rise buildings in communities with strong rental demand. The Calgary market has two speeds, and we've talked about this, and it has been like that probably from the beginning of the year. And within the condo segment itself, there are two speeds as well. The mistake is treating all condos the same. The opportunity for a smart buyer right now is that motivated sellers in an oversupply market are negotiable in ways they were not in 2021. If you are buying with your eyes open, reserve fund reviewed, financing pre-confirmed, pre-approved, rental ratio checked, you can negotiate a better deal today than you could have gotten at the top of the cycle. The key word is with your eyes open. So proper due diligence when it comes to the condo. If you are looking at a condo right now, or if you walked away from one because something fell off and you want to know if your instinct was right, you can call or text me directly. My number is in the description there. I'll look at the specific building, the reserve fund, the lender exposure, and your financing picture in one call. That's what a dual license gives you that you cannot get from two separate conversations with two separate professionals. The link is in the description, and a guide there on what to look for when you are buying a condo, the due diligence process. So check out the link in the description, and I hope to see you in my next video. We make dreams come true and nightmares disappear, and this is very relevant if you are looking to buy a condo or sell a condo here in Calgary. See you in the next video. Have a beautiful day.